Okay. I've been thinking about this video for a while now. I should have done it a week or two ago, but it's here now. My channel is mostly for adults. We talk about firearms, knives, self-defense laws, high-profile cases. So, even though this channel is geared towards adults, I know for a fact there are some younger viewers. I know for a fact most of my viewers have kids, nieces and nephews. I have kids in my family. I protect kids for a living. So, yeah. And I thought this would be a good idea to make for Halloween safety tips, mostly geared towards trick-or-treating or young people being out at night. 90% of this stuff we already know, but you never know, you might see something different. Especially the younger generations. I'm always thinking that one thing no one else is, so I got a list here. You try to do your trick-or-treating before sundown. This particular year, Halloween is on a Friday. Other years is on Saturday and Sunday, that's fine, but pretty much school is open with a full day of school on Halloween. At least it always has been. And it is now because I follow a school calendar now, so. But try to do your trick-or-treating before sun goes down. That might mean you literally come home from school, kick the clothes off, put the Halloween costume on, and go out. And the Halloween costume has been ready the night before. Reason being, bad things can happen in sunlight, but it reduces the chance something bad is going to happen. Okay, it reduces that chance. So try to get your shopping, your trick-or-treating done before sun goes down or early evening. And I know you still have, well, this Halloween you have Saturday and Sunday for the homework. So if homework, you can do Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Curfews. Does your area have a curfew? This also relates to why you need to do your trick-or-treating early. My hometown has curfews. If you're this age, you have to be in by 8. If you're this age, in by 9. If you're this age, in by 10. Okay? Talk to your police, your schools, to find out what the curfews are. We had no Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube when I was a kid, but we do now. And most police departments, including my own, have Twitter and Facebook pages. And go there and find out what is my curfew. If you are with a parent and you're out at night, that's okay. Curfew means if you're under a certain age and you're out alone. And yes, the police will stop you. And in my hometown, the police catch you after curfew. They bring you to the police station. They don't fingerprint you. They don't put you in a cell. But they do bring you to the police station and tell your parents to come and pick you up. And they explain to your parents that you're out past curfew. And if your parents were aware of that, your parents get yelled at on top of that. So you don't want to get in trouble. Know the areas you're in. Some of you might live in bad neighborhoods. You can't avoid that. But know the areas you're in and try to avoid trouble areas. Trouble can happen anywhere. But you might have an area where there's almost always trouble. There's almost like every Halloween there's a fight in this town, in this neighborhood. Every Halloween there's a crime committed in this neighborhood. Stay away from the woods. Stay away from the back alleys. Stay away from the off roads and by the railroad tracks. Stay away from areas where there's no one around. Try as hard as you can to go where there are houses, people, street lights. Okay? Crime will happen and bad things will happen when you're in the middle of nowhere. So if you're in a neighborhood where there's a lot of kids around, a lot of adults around, police are around, houses are lit, you're less likely to get into trouble. You're less likely to find a problem somewhere. Try to avoid people that cause trouble. Now, this includes people your own age, who you always have that guy in your class that's always getting in trouble. Maybe he's been to juvenile hall once or twice. But stay away from the kids you know are going to cause problems. Because what happens is, if you get arrested for doing something stupid on Halloween night, you're going to be in juvenile court the next day. And you don't want to do that. Also, staying away from people that are causing problems. And I'm going to be very upfront with this. The Megan's Law thing. we have online databases, and your parents can even go to the police station and get a printout or some information from the police station about people in your neighborhood who have been convicted and been to prison for crimes against children and other violent crimes. And your parents are entitled to have a list of their names and where they live. Your parents need to know exactly where those houses are and make sure you don't go anywhere near those houses. Maybe there's one guy in the neighborhood, maybe there's 10 guys in the neighborhood, maybe there's no one in the neighborhood. But if there is a person in the neighborhood that you need to stay away from, you need to know where their house is and to stay as far away from it as possible. Don't even ring the doorbell. Because you go trick-or-treating, you ring the doorbell, don't even ring the doorbell. They've been to prison, they did something really bad, you don't want to go near them. So make sure your parents know about that, make sure you know about that. Okay? Don't do anything that will get you into trouble. When I was a kid, and I work for a police department now, one of our police captains had a son older than me. This is a long time ago. The son went out with eggs and shaving cream, and the friends had a fight. Egging each other, shaving creaming each other, and no one cared. Okay, so if you and your friends go and egg each other, okay, odds are the police might not care. But if you're going to go around and egg little kids, if you're going to egg elderly people, if you're going to be egging houses and stores, okay, if you're going to be attacking people, that's going to get you into trouble. Serious trouble, because that is an assault. If you take an egg and hit someone with it, they don't want anything to do with you, that is an assault, and you can go to juvenile court for that. You're not going to go to juvenile hall for a month, but I'm just saying you can get arrested for that, and you can have that on your juvenile record. You don't want that. Try not to avoid carrying anything that will get you into trouble. Okay? Shaving cream and eggs. I used to work at a supermarket, and for the week of Halloween, maybe 3 days before Halloween and Halloween night, you had to be 18 years old to buy eggs. And security actually approached kids buying eggs, told them to put the eggs back. You're not allowed to have them. It's actually against the law in many areas, including my area, for you to buy eggs if you're under 18. Yes, you might be making a cake, but the assumption is that you're going to break eggs or hurt people or throw things, so they do not allow you to buy eggs and shaving cream. Now, you might get a phone call Halloween night from your friend's mother, and she might say, I'm making a chocolate cake, but I'm out of eggs. Can you bring some eggs over? And you might literally put some eggs in a carton and walk 3 houses down with the egg carton in your hand, and the policeman might stop you and say, where are you going with the eggs? Well, my friend's house, and they'll go with you to the house, and the mother has to come to the door and say, yes, he or she is my son or daughter's friend, and I asked for eggs to bake a cake. But if you're caught with eggs in public on Halloween night, the first thing they're going to think is you're up to no good. That's what they're going to think. So you don't even want to have the eggs on you, the shaving cream on you. You know, you might not want to even have it. So, and parents, don't let your kids go to the store. Because I've had parents, when I was younger too, they tell their kid, go to the store and buy eggs for food. But it's the day before Halloween, and no. So, you don't want to carry anything that's going to get you into trouble. Trying to wear a costume is not going to hurt your vision or your movement. I haven't worn a costume since I think 5th grade. But some guys have costumes where their head is massive helmet thing, mask that blocks their vision. Some guys have baggy this or thick boots that, and they physically can't move. You don't want that. I'll get into that in a little bit, but you don't want to be impaired movement. Have a costume that will allow you to move fast. Reason being, you might get into trouble or see trouble coming, and you might have to leave very quickly. There might be some older kids coming after you. There might be someone you think is going to hurt you, and you want to be able to move very fast. Boys wear shoes they can run in. Girls, I have 2 nieces, I have many cousins, I know this, okay? I know that the shoes you guys wear, it's hard to move. Practice when you're an adult, take your shoes off. You ever seen an adult woman get into trouble? She takes off her high heel shoes and runs barefoot, okay? Or there's a fire, the heels come off and she runs away, okay? You might have to kick off your shoes to run. You might have to drop your candy bag to run. You might have to throw off your hood or mask to run, or cape, whatever you're carrying. But have the costume so that you probably gotta get your costume ready, but wear costumes that can help you, that allow you to move fast if trouble arises, or take off something. Kick the shoes off, take the cape off, drop the pitchfork, whatever you have to leave quickly. You have to drop something, you have to do it within a second's notice. So you don't want to have a costume that's going to be 4 layers thick. You got to pull this off, pull that off. Another thing, you might be crossing the street and a car might be coming real fast. You have to jump out of the way. And believe me, I know. Okay, I almost got ran over twice at work on Monday. And the second person, I think, tried to run me over on purpose. So I know all about jumping out of the way. So you don't want to have a costume that's going to make it hard for you to jump out of the way of a moving car or move if a tree's falling down. You don't want that. Have something that reflects light. Especially wear a dark costume like Batman or something like that. You're going to have a dark color. You want something that reflects light. Now I have a problem where I go to work. I drive to work at 6:45 a.m. And some mornings before the sun comes up, it's really, really dark. And I've been driving down the road and I've had people, adults, wearing dark clothes, crossing the street, away from the intersection, and I can't see them because it's dark. Even my light's on, I still can't see them. Okay? So if you're wearing dark clothes, especially if you have to cross the street, you want to have something reflective. You might have the candy bag that glows. Maybe it's colored yellow, colored orange, reflects, fluorescent. Or you might want to take some kind of glowing tape and pull the glowing tape off and put a piece of glowing tape on the bag so that people can see you crossing the street, or God knows what else. Yeah. Best way to test that, go into a room, close the windows, close the doors, turn the light off. Can you see, or can your friend in the room with you see a reflection on the bag or on the tape or on something on your body? Because you have to make sure cars can see you, you have to make sure other people can see you, okay? You must carry a cell phone. Most of you already have cell phones. I mean, I'm seeing 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds with cell phones. At work, I see 6-year-olds with iPads. Swear to God. You must have a cell phone in case you have to call your parents or in case you have to call 911. Okay, you must have a cell phone, period. I cannot stress that enough. Another thing you must have is a flashlight. I got this flashlight for Easter in my basket well over 15 years ago. It must have cost $5 and it still works, and I actually keep it next to my bed at night in case I have to get up in the middle of the night and there's a blackout and I can't turn the lights on. Okay? I have a lanyard to grab onto it. Okay? This this flashlight is a newer flashlight. This flashlight is Duracell Durabeam. Oh God, this is about 20 years old, this flashlight. You must have a flashlight for crossing the street, walking in bad neighborhoods, seeing whatever. You must have a flashlight on you. Okay, even if you go to the store and buy one this week for $5, you must have a flashlight on you, period. Another thing, several people I'm sharing this with know this. If you are a celebrity, And yes, there are celebrity kids. There are kids that are on YouTube and they have 100,000 subscribers and they're 12 years old. There are kids on TV. If you are a celebrity, a pad and a pen. Because if you trick-or-treat at someone's house and they don't know you, I mean, you might be trick-or-treating at a house and you might have a fan. You don't know them personally, but they say they're a fan of yours and they want your autograph. The pad and the pen come out, autograph, and go. Because you don't want the conversation to be heard. I'm a big fan of yours, or my son is a big fan of yours, or my daughter is a big fan of yours. Can I have your autograph? The pen is inside, come with me. You don't even want the discussion to come up about going in the house. Your neighbors that you've known all your life, your neighbors that you go over their house all the time, going into their house is not a problem because you know them. They're your friend's parents, they're your parents' friends, they're your neighbors, you've known them for a long time, it's not a problem. You've been in the house before, they've been in your house before, you trust them, it's not a problem. Okay? But people you don't know, maybe you move to a new neighborhood, okay, maybe you're in a different neighborhood, people you don't know, the doorbell rings, candy comes out, and you go away. You don't need to go inside for any reason. Celebrity, kids, pen and pen, must have, period. Or maybe you have a 8x10 photographs to give out the fans, you want to bring 20 of them, fine. Okay? Never enter the home of a stranger, I know that I did that already. Okay. Do not be afraid to leave a scene, and do not be afraid to call the police. You might ring someone's doorbell, and they might be drunk. Walk away. You might ring someone's doorbell, and they might be acting strange. Walk away. You might be walking down a dark alley, and there might be someone walking down the street, and they might be totally innocent, but you think there's a problem. Walk away. Okay? You might have heard a loud scream. You might have heard something you don't like. Call the police. The police, working for a police department myself, I notice. The police would much rather come to you and find out that it was a false alarm than not come to you and find out there was a problem. Okay? They'd much rather arrive on the scene and have you say, I called 911 because I thought someone was following me. That sounds so much better than saying someone attacked me. Okay? And you always look over your shoulder, period. Have someone, preferably the person in the back, if you're walking in a row or group, person in the back, always walk behind you. Always look behind you. You look over your shoulder like this. And if you think you're being followed, you might want to take an alternate route. You might want to walk faster. You might want to scream. You might want to say out loud, let me call my mom real quick. Okay? But try to make sure you're not being followed. Every Halloween, there's always some idiot that does something stupid. It happens every year. Even if it doesn't happen in your neighborhood, it will happen somewhere. You don't want to get in trouble for that. Okay? And I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else to say. Be safe. Okay? I used to trick-or-treat in my apartment building. And if you trick-or-treat in an apartment building, you might not have these problems about looking behind you or curfew. But if you go from one apartment building to the next, to the next, to the next, or if you're going into houses, neighborhoods where there are houses or other units, these things are crossing the street, these things apply to you. So, just be aware. That's all. Okay, thank you. And this video will be available next Halloween and the Halloween after that. So,